Good afternoon, fellow teachers. Good afternoon, sir. Today, I will going to report about stress management. So let us first define stress. Stress is often termed as a 20th century syndrome born out of man's race towards modern progress and its ensuing complexities. It is by Benjamin Franklin. And stress is the reaction people have to excessive pressures or other types of demand placed upon them. It arises when they worry that they can cope. Or in other words, stress can have a big impact in our body in a ways that are felt by just you or in a way that the world can see. Or in short, stress is occur when the pressure is greater than the resource. So there are signs of stress or the probable symptoms. The first one is the insomnia or it is the inability to sleep. Ito yung hindi tayo nakakatulog ng maayos kapag nakakaramdam tayo ng stress. The second one is the loss of mental concentration. Means it is the inability to focus your mind in an object or subject. Ito yung hindi tayo makakonsentrate kung nakakaranas tayo ng stress. The third one is the absenteeism. Means it is a habitual pattern of absence from a duty or obligation without a good reason. The next one is the depression and extreme anger and frustration. Ito yung madaling mairita at magalit kahit sa simpleng bagay. The fifth is the family conflict. Ito yung hindi na pagkakaunawaan ng isang pamilya dahil mayroong miyembro ng pamilya na nakakaranas na ng stress. And the last one is the migraine, headaches, and back problems, which is the signs of stress. So there are causes of stress. The first one is the job insecurity, which further reveal that employment which involve lack of financial, lack of experiences and training were the major causes of job insecurity. The second one is the high performance demand. The third one is the bad boss or ito yung mga bossy sa trabaho. An example of this is a boss who doesn't care to listen on their employee, which goes hand in hand with being bad communicators. Fourth is the workplace culture. It is an environment that you create for your employees or sometimes kapag bago ka pa lang sa trabaho, it's really hard to adjust and adapt the new cultures. Next is the personal and family problems, which is the biggest causes of stress, which common causes is the financial crisis, relationship problems, and health problems. The last one is the technology, which is the leading to a serious mental problems, including to depression and anxiety. An example of this is a potential causes of social media which misinformation. Ito yung kapag may nababasa tayo sa Facebook. So let us go now to the eustress versus distress. So let us go now to the eustress. Eustress is a form of stress having beneficial effect on health, motivation, performance, and well-being. Or this is the positive stress. Positive stress occurs when your level of stress is high enough to motivate you to move into action to get things accomplished. An example of this is getting married. Uh, Nervous when you perform in front of people, which consists of excitement. So those are the example of a positive stress. Next is the distress. which is the type of stress we are referring to when we say stress. It is the form of stress with negative implications. So this is the negative stress which occurs when your level of stress is either too high or too low and your body and your mind begins to respond negatively to the stressors. An example of this is the death of a loved one, loss of a job, being neglect or abuse, separation. So those are the negative stress. So there are positive stress results. Positive stress results can enable concentration, and it can focus on one subject or another. It can also increases performance, energize you into motion. So in our workplace, it can enable your mind and body to the best that you can be and can experience a healthy behavior. So there are negative stress results. Negative stress results can lose motivation or having difficulties coping on an issue in your life. It can also reduces effectiveness. It can also affect the physical, mental, and behavioral problems. In physical, it will affect the lack of sleep, anger, and depression. Stress management. It is the amelioration of stress and especially chronic stress, often for the purpose of improving everyday functioning. Stress produces symptoms which vary according to persons, situations, and severity. This can include physical health decline as well as depression. So there are types of stress management. The first one is the acute stress. Acute stress is usually for short time and may be due to work pressure, meeting deadlines pressures, or minor accident, overexertion, increased physical activity, searching something but you misplace it, or similar things. The symptoms of this type of tension are headaches, back pain, stomach problems, rapid heartbeat, muscle aches, or body pain. The second one is the chronic stress. This type of stress is the most serious of all the stress. Chronic stress is a prolonged stress that exists for weeks, months, or even years. This stress is due to poverty, broken or stressed families and marriage, chronic illness, and successive failures in life. People suffering from this type of stress get used to it and may even not realize that they are under chronic stress. It is very harmful to their health. So there are advantages of stress management. The first one, less absenteeism due to stress-related disorders. The second one, less workers' compensation loss due to stress-related illness or accident. Improved job performance. Next, less stressful, more efficient workplace. Improve employee attitude. And the last one, improve employee overall health. So there are disadvantages of stress management also because it can potentially raise your heart rate and weaken your immune system. Also, it can be a factor in poor decision making. Under stress, we may not think logically or consider the consequences of the choices we make. The psychologist Albert Haley came out with a model of stress called ABC. He says that each adversity we face has three components. The first one is the A, which stands for awareness. So, what causes of our stress? How do we react? And we must be aware of it. Next one, B stands for balance. So there is a fine line between positive or negative stress. So how much will you cope with before it becomes a negative? Last one, C stands for control. So what can you do to help yourself combat the negative effects of our stress? Life, we must prepare changes. Find a place to refresh, re-energize, and remotivate. Avoid giving into alcohols, smoking, and other substance abuse. Stop shallow breathing. Create the habit of deep breaths and visualize and communicate your vision. Laugh. Surround yourself with good and positive environment. Be aware of your choices because you always have a choice. Learn to say no. You cannot do everything you are asked. Be thankful. Yes, we must be thankful and appreciate what God gave us. To relieve from stress, do nothing. Yes, we must do nothing. Close the door, open the window, have a seat, listen to music, and take a little break from life. If your mind is racing, learn to meditate and just let the stress go. So enjoy our life as it comes and always be happy. So that's end of my report and thank you for listening. May God bless us all.